Are you on lunch break?
Basically, I just got home from work and we are going to film this podcast. I'm like, hold on. I need to go get my Nutri meal. These things are so good.
Which one is that?
It's the rigatoni and the chicken meatballs. Honestly, it tastes so good. I want to make chicken meatballs like this.
The one meal that I hate making is lunch.
Yeah, me too.
Like when you work from home and you're, gaining some momentum, you're in the groove, right?
Yeah.
And then you're hungry.
I
And you're
know.
like, okay, let me see what we have. And then it's like, if there's not leftovers, I don't want to make anything in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And
I
I
get
really
that.
don't love doing the meal ordering
I know.
because it,
Look, it's so expensive.
it's so expensive and groceries are through the roof.
So yeah, we were researching to try to find a company that does it's a little bit more affordable, made local, and I mean this one is just it had really good reviews too. So these are Nutri meals.
Yeah, there are a lot of meal delivery services and we looked at the reviews and they're not that great. So this food is actually made by real chefs and there's no seed oils in it or anything.
It shows up on your doorstep on ice, and it's just nice because then we don't have to think about our lunch.
Dinner, that's good. We have a family dinner around the dinner table most nights.
Yes.
That's okay because it's kind of like at the end of the day when you're winding down as a family, we put on our record.
Yeah.
Lately, we've been putting on some music. We cook dinner. We eat dinner together. But lunchtime, I like to skip lunch unless
Exactly.
these are ready in 3 minutes. I just grab one out of the fridge and I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Fresh, never frozen too. So they just taste like a home cooked meal, which I really like. And they that they're healthy. They taste so good.
And they have these amazing protein balls that are extremely filling. You need 2 of these and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking you can eat 5 of these. I've tried to eat 4.
They're dense.
I've tried to eat 4 because I was so hungry and I was seriously done.
And there's
I'm
4
so
different
full.
kinds of these, and they're so good. I love this one with the sprinkles on it. Yum. So yeah, don't mind me while I eat my lunch.
This is a day in the life right here. If we want to film a podcast, usually when we do film a podcast, we're pretty hangry. So if you see us kind of bickering at each other, we're just angry.
Because last week we were totally bickering, and then that week before we had to come on and be like, "Oh, we were just fighting before we started this podcast."
It reminds me of when I'm hangry, noises bother me.
You are the worst with that.
I'm like, why are you breathing so loud?
Yeah, I'm like, gosh, thanks a lot. Yeah, you'll point out things that I'm not even noticing I'm doing. I'm like, sorry.
You do it to me too.
No, I do. I don't want to chew into the mic, so I'm going to try to eat away from the mic. How annoying.
You're lucky I'm not hangry.
Mm-hmm.
Or that would annoy me. I have a thing with chewing. She likes to chew ice because her iron is super low.
Just got my results back.
And last night during quiet time, so here's a little backstory. Mm-hmm. We've had the flu. Mm-hmm. Well, at least our youngest has had the flu. He ran 103 about 2 nights ago. We all came down with it Friday night, literally in the middle of the night. My daughter woke up in the middle of the night. I woke up and I'm like, ugh, I feel horrible. Mine came and went, gone, never had a fever. She spiked a little bit of a fever, but was down and out for 2 days. But now you feel a lot better.
I feel completely fine.
That's weird. Last night we did quiet time, but it was just me and my daughter. She was with our youngest in the bedroom, sleeping at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you gave her a cup of ice water.
No, she got her own ice water.
Okay. She got her own ice
she got
water.
Me ice water.
And I'm sitting on the couch. I'm reading a book and she's drawing. Cutest thing ever. We're chilling. But she was going to town on this ice. And normally she doesn't do that. But I was watching her because I couldn't really focus on reading anymore. So I was watching her, and every 3 seconds she was grabbing that cup
Oh gosh.
and sipping
like
water
me.
and chewing ice, just like you. And she couldn't stop. She would write one word and then stop and do it. One word, stop and do it.
Oh no.
For like 10 minutes.
Her iron's probably low too.
And I'm just looking at her. I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna be that guy.
I know.
I'm gonna.
Thank you for.
Where are my
not-
headphones? Where are my headphones?
Yeah, you have these nice new headphones that I got you for Christmas.
I've been using them every night.
I know.
But I also want to be like in the space.
I know.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it was just so peaceful
And
watching
then
her.
crunch, crunch,
She was
crunch.
writing you a note.
She
I don't know what it said,
was.
but
It
she
was
said
sweet.
she was writing you a note to feel better.
Yeah.
And she was all about you last night.
I know. She was all sweet. She's like, so,
Both of the kids wanted nothing to do with me last night.
I know. It's
Some nights
because
are
I
just
was
like that.
away in the bedroom. John, you pretty much did everything on Sunday and Monday, and I got to just rest. I took a big long nap on Sunday, and I got to hang out in the room pretty much the whole day yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think
Just-
that helps me get better. What a novel idea.
Yeah. And-
Resting when you're when you're sick.
I mean, I rested too. I wasn't down and out like you were, but just forcing myself to rest and
Mhm.
having no pressure to do anything around the house or to
Oh,
do
yeah.
anything at all.
Yes.
Freezing cold outside.
Yeah.
I am not motivated. I mean, I was coming off of sickness. I just felt like we just were so lazy this weekend, and it was so nice.
It was really nice.
And
felt
I watched
great.
2 movies. I read a lot of my book. I did a lot of just busy work and just catching up on things. And
I watched
Just
the whole show yesterday. I binged the whole thing.
which one?
His
Oh,
and,
yeah, yeah.
His and
Yeah, yeah.
hers, which was it's on Netflix, and
Hmm.
it was. Maybe I'm just like too critical because you like that actor, right?
John Bernthal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the acting was good. It was just that like it is very suspenseful, and it was quite the twist at the end. But like I get a little bit like, oh, okay, that's kind of corny,
Hmm.
when the twists. It wasn't predictable, but I did predict it, and I was like, but they wouldn't do that because
So it's
that
like
would
a
be
thrill-
crazy.
It's like a thriller.
It's like a thriller. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that-
mean, I feel like you might have liked it because
Well,
you kind of like.
Thrillers
Yeah.
are very, very entertaining to watch. Like the first episode is always good, even if it's
Yeah.
bad.
They are always good.
Like thrillers goes by a format, just like horror movies go by a format,
Mm-hmm.
and they're the same every time. Just like comedies go,
Yeah,
same thing every
That's
time.
true.
And
It's like a whodunit.
but with thrillers, they start out so good that the twist has to be good. It's all about the twist. That's like what makes it a good thriller or a bad thriller.
I think some people would probably disagree with me and say, no, that was a great twist because you didn't see it coming. I'm like, but I
Well,
saw it coming.
But also the thing with thrillers is it's very, very subjective whether it's good or not, because
That's true.
some people are expecting. It's just different with everybody.
You're right, because even like Handmaid's Tale, which we both loved, people were unhappy with the ending, but
And
like
I loved it.
and we thought it was great.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
a lot of different opinions based on what you kind of want to get from it. But we kind of have this expectation of like, they're not going to give us every single thing we want wrapped up in a neat bow.
So that's where it's different. The Handmaid's Tale, I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but the way that everybody wanted it to go
Yeah.
would have been corny.
Right.
That would have ruined it for me.
Yeah.
They made it real life, and that's why I thought it was so good.
Yeah.
Like the whole show was unforgiving. The whole
Mhm.
show was like just beating the audience down the whole time.
True.
But the ending, I feel, wasn't depressing. Yeah, that's probably subjective, but
Mm.
I didn't think it was super depressing. It could have been more depressing, for sure.
Well,
But it
yeah,
was bittersweet, and that's why I liked it.
it was. And it also opened up for the next show. That's the spinoff.
Yeah.
So like they did that with
Uh,
that in mind. They
I-
were great writers and directors and everything. It
That
was so
second to
good.
last episode, I
Yeah.
thought was so good.
Yeah. They were.
Like if I remove myself and not think that it's actually a real story,
Yeah.
like people are so invested in good stories that they get really upset that it. But that's just the day and age we live in.
Yeah.
Everybody's so freaking opinionated. We used to have like 4 critics that would criticize these movies and shows, and now we have 4 million.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because they did
Everyone's a
the same
critic.
thing with The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Oh,
They
yeah,
were
that's true.
Bashing her on social media.
Yeah.
And I'm like, leave her alone. Like,
I
it's a good show.
know.
Like, first of all, it's the books. And,
Right.
well, I know she changed the last 4 episodes or whatever was original. But, I mean, people were bashing her before even we knew what was going to happen.
I know.
So-
I know. I which
You're
I
like,
was
you're
like,
only-
I loved it all.
You're
I
only going to
loved
give
it.
us 1 episode of that and blah, 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 blah. It's so opinionated.
It's just so opinionated. I know. I mean, it's same for everything now. There are so many reviews for everything you look at, like every book, and you know, like I listened to this audiobook of some book that was like really high rated,
Yeah.
and I could not stand it. I couldn't even stand to listen to it. It was
You're not going to say the name, are you?
Oh, no, I'm not even talking about that one.
Oh.
You think I'm talking about Pride and Prejudice?
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Classic.
That was literally just because I can't understand what the heck they're saying in Old English, like
Mm.
because I wasn't born in the 1700s. I have no idea what they're saying.
But what a cool thing to have, though.
Yeah.
Like, to read
Oh, it is.
literature
It's really
from, like,
cool. And
150
I'm
years
going to
ago.
try to go back and do it again. I feel like an idiot because I couldn't stand it because I kept drifting off in thoughts the entire time I was listening. I'm like, I'm not even absorbing what's happening. It's also like, it's written by a young girl. So it's very like adolescent.
Mm.
It's very adolescent, but then also in this like high society world. But I don't know. No, it was this other book back in the summer I think I read, and I was like, how does this have so many good reviews? Because the people who are playing the voices of these characters are so unbelievable. Like you cannot. They were like the pretentious voice of the man that they would use. I just couldn't.
It's like bad acting.
It's like bad acting, really bad acting on both parts, the girl and the guy. And I'm like, this book would maybe be good to read. But I'm like, these reviews are coming from audiobook listeners. Why'd they say this was good? So yeah, opinions are just, this is why we have, so many things in the world that some people like, some people hate.
Yeah, and when it comes to books, I think that if you don't enjoy it by 100 pages in, just move on to another book.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many books out there, and I think you should just read what you enjoy reading. I was telling her she couldn't get into Pride and Prejudice, and she's like, well, one of my clients told me it was so good, and I know it's a classic, and, I want to be smart. I'm like, you are smart, but, also, you don't have to love it. Like, Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind is a great movie. I have no desire to watch it, though. Like, I saw it when I was younger. I'm not going to watch that. I would rather watch Dark Knight or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to consume what I'm not going to say, okay, Pride and Prejudice is a bad book. It just might be boring for me. I'm reading Anthony Hopkins' memoir that's super entertaining. There's a lot of history there.
Mm-hmm.
It's entertaining to me. I'm enjoying reading it. I'm not going to sit there for days and read something I don't really enjoy just so I can say I'm smart and I
read that
I've
book.
read all Jane Austen's novels and John Steinbeck and blah blah blah.
But also,
it's like maybe
my
some of them are I would enjoy.
Okay, but why do they do this to like high schoolers? They set us up for failure. So a lot of people had Pride and Prejudice was like a required reading.
I didn't.
Not for me either. But think about some of the other books that we had to read, which were, they're like, it's a lot for even me
I
now.
had pretty good choices.
You did?
Yeah. I mean, Grapes of Wrath, I enjoyed that one. Of Mice and Men, enjoyed that one.
Okay, I read
Great
that and I can't
Gatsby.
remember. And I even went
Well, it's
to a play.
It's like 40 years ago now.
Shut up. I'm
It's
not
like
that
25
old. 20
years
years
ago.
ago. I know. I went to a play of it too, and I still
It's
don't even
longer
remember.
than 20 years
I
ago.
don't even remember what it was about.
Freshman year is longer than 20 years ago.
It wasn't my freshman year. It was like my junior year, I think. I don't know. Okay, so it's like
22 years ago. So, Great Gatsby was great. Lord of the Flies
Didn't
was
read
great.
it. Didn't read it.
1984
I read that.
was great. The Hatchet. Remember that?
No. Did you ever read Animal Farm?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, I didn't read
I want to
it,
go
no.
back and like read that because I read that in 8th grade.
Great
and it
Gatsby
way
was
over
my favorite.
head.
Great Gatsby and Lord of the Flies.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You remember Lord of the Flies?
No.
The kids? And then they eat each other?
You've told me
They
about
eat one
this.
kid?
No, I don't know this. I don't think that sounds like a book. I mean, a movie I'd like, or a book.
It is a movie, and
Yeah,
I
it's a
haven't
movie,
seen it.
right? Oh, okay. Yeah,
should
but
look
I don't know. I don't think I have any desire.
But The Great Gatsby. Great movie. Great book, great movie.
Never,
I haven't seen the movie, actually.
never read that either.
What?
Mm-mm. We had to read To Kill a Mockingbird.
What about Great Expectations?
Yeah, we did. They make kids read these specific books,
Yeah.
and then they make you feel like you're a freaking idiot if you don't know, if you're not following. And I was like, totally. I mean, I could barely read like 4 pages without just being like, la di da 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 di. You know, I still have a hard time. So I can only imagine my poor little self, just because I was like an overachiever. I really wanted great grades, so it was just like such a struggle for me. No one told me like, well, yeah, this is like intense literature that you're reading.
That's my biggest problem. Well, that was my biggest problem in grade school.
Yeah,
I think I've talked about this before,
like
but
reading comprehension.
well, no, it's just I'm learning about stuff I don't care about.
Oh, yeah, totally.
You know,
And if you don't care about it,
English class was such a disappointment until I got to college. Then I loved it,
True.
but I knew I loved reading and I loved writing. But English class, I had the worst teachers for English.
I had some bad
one.
teachers.
I
for
had
English.
one teacher. She was so mean.
Mhm.
And she was one of those teachers, which I never understood what the mentality of teaching kids this way would be, but she'd make everybody fail
Yeah.
and then curve
Yeah,
the
curve.
grade.
Yes.
I didn't understand that. I'm
I
like,
know.
I don't know anything on this test. That's okay. And then like everybody would fail and the highest grade would be like a C minus.
Yes.
And then
we
she'd
had
curve it
that
and
too.
somehow you would get an A. And I'm like, what the frick is going on?
It was so weird. It's like, why would they set us up to fail?
I don't know. It must have been
be
a
like, well,
theory.
you all failed.
It must have been an educational theory.
I
of
swear
something.
it had to have been because it's like they
gotta
never
look that
changed
up.
the test.
I
They
gotta
always
look that
made
up.
it, and like each year they'd be like,
Awful.
"Oh man, that section there's a test. You guys are gonna all fail it, and then they're gonna curve the grade." Like, well, why would you want that? What is the? How about you just teach the stuff that's on the test?
There's a recurring dream I have till this day, and it's of that English class. I'm not joking.
Mhm.
I am not joking because that English class scarred me for life because of that. I would study, I would read, and then I'd fail the test every time.
Yeah.
But
What a
then I got
nightmare.
an A in the class. What in the world is going on? And she was so mean. The teacher was so mean.
And you know what effect this?
Pull your
this type-
pants up.
Yeah. So was our teacher. She was like on the verge of retirement, so she hated her job and hated
us.
kids.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, great. So I had her I think I had her both my freshman year and my senior year. I had to have her twice. And you know what it did? It just totally knocked my self-esteem down with school.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I guess I'm not able to keep up, or I'm not able. And then I just stopped trying. And then my view of myself was like, yeah, you suck.
Yeah.
Just give up. And then I did. And then, you know, I did that with a lot of classes because math, oh my gosh, we had the worst math teacher my sophomore year.
Oh, some of the math teachers were brutal.
My freshman year math teacher, she's amazing. She was amazing to every student. Everyone loved her. Then I had this other guy, and I'm like, I swear he just was teaching so he could like coach football or something. And it was evident because he didn't care. Like he just walked out of the room, let us cheat and everything. So what kind of message does that give kids?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys kind of were like in a very pivotal part of our lives. Maybe think about that.
Well, we're trusting these people, and I always trusted teachers. So I wasn't thinking that they were doing something wrong, but now I look back on it, and I definitely had some bad teachers, some immoral teachers, and just some really mean, like really bad teachers.
Yeah.
And I did have some good ones, though.
Oh, me too. And they're so memorable.
Yeah. One of my English teachers, we like she was more outside of the box. We studied like Tupac lyrics.
That would be cool.
Really cool. And then one of my teachers, like we could read what we wanted.
That would have been
and
awesome.
There was some film stuff in there, and then photography. Shout out to my photography teacher. She's like one of the best teachers ever. She's just so. She was the first teacher that, like, you could tell your dreams to, and she wouldn't shut you down. Like so many adults back then and teachers would shut you down. I'll never forget when me and my friend, we got caught by the truancy officer. This guy was a jerk. Frank something. We got caught smoking cigarettes, and he pulled up on us like an undercover cop with like two other adults, put us in the back of the car, asked if we were smoking meth. It was really weird. I was like, nah, we're just smoking cigarettes. And he was just berating us. And he's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And my friend said he wanted to be a rock star, which was true. And he was an amazing guitarist. And he just like laughed at him. He said, this is what I'm talking about. You guys are losers. I mean, it was like straight out of a movie. And then he asked me, and I said a film director, and he's like, they're hopeless. They're hopeless. You guys, blah, blah, blah.
Oh
you guys smoking meth. You guys doing drugs.
We're not smoking meth.
And we're like, what in the world? They searched our backpacks. Fortunately, we didn't have any other things.
Yeah.
But no, just cigarettes. And we were 18 at the time, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just stupid. That was so weird. I was like...
That's so weird.
He was just an aggressive, bitter old man.
Yep.
Yeah, screw that guy.
Screw him.
Frank.
Thanks a lot, Frank.
Frank Bowler or Bolter or something. Frank. I don't know what his problem was.
Where's Frank now?
Well, he was old. He was old, and this was 2004.
Was he older? Did he just look old? Because
he was probably 65. He seemed like he was 65. Maybe he was 55.
Maybe
he's 85 now. Hopefully, he has a better outlook on life.
Yeah. Hopefully, he didn't tell his kids.
Yeah.
That stupid idea.
Jeez.
How dare you dream?
Yeah, I didn't become a film director. My friend didn't become a rock star.
Well, that's true.
But,
what if he would have been like, well, then, you know what? You guys, you can follow your dreams, and then you did. You never know.
No, me and my friend were like so motivated after that because it was such like a movie scene of like, and then we were like, frick that guy. We're going to show him. And then we like smoked weed and smoked cigarettes at night or something. We didn't really work on our craft.
You didn't really work on it much, but I mean,
there was a few older people in my life that were like that, like just very negative and very not motivated. I mean, you were motivated because you hated them.
Yeah,
you know, and that's exhausting. And you know, I think my advice to anybody and to younger people especially is don't do it to prove people wrong, because the people that you prove wrong, when you do prove them wrong, they will still find something to say negative about it. So It's not as fulfilling as you would think it is.
It's not.
By proving people wrong, and then they're just still negative and bitter, maybe even more. You're like,
you can use them for your motivation,
But
don't ever
yeah.
expect anything out of them ever.
No,
Ever.
don't be like, see, I proved you wrong. Now what? And they're like, well, just wait until this now.
Yep.
You're like, what?
Or
And then you're like, oh, I'll never make you happy because you're never gonna be happy.
you'll never be happy.
Yeah.
You know, makes them feel good to put out your light. And that's just who they are. So, yeah. So, I would say that, you know, it can be a little healthy motivation. And it has been in my life. But it's not everything is cracked up to be because, once you get to that place where you're like, look what I did. It's like, oh, it actually falls flat and no one cares. Okay.
Yeah, and it's hard having that negative mindset and to prove other people wrong, and then it like starts to weigh on you, and then you're trying to prove yourself, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
You're trying to prove yourself right because in your mind you're saying that it's not going to happen for you. And I just love that like motivational stuff. I don't know who it was in an interview, and I just sent you a video of a girl, and it's like they're so focused. They're like, I don't even think of a negative outcome. I don't have time to think of a negative outcome because the time between thought and execution is so little that I don't have time to say, what if this doesn't work out?
Mm-hmm.
And I've just always loved that mentality of
I like that
screw
too.
plan B. I hate plan B. Plan B, I always hated plan B. I want to do this. Well, what's your plan B? That's what everybody would always tell me. What's your plan B? You need a plan B. I don't want a plan B because plan B sucks.
Well, and plan B is like putting negativity on your idea. It's like, well, if it doesn't work out, I can just blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
this is my backup plan.
If you have a backup plan, then you're not going to give it all to plan A. But if plan A is your only plan, you have to succeed.
Yep.
You have to.
And, you know, usually when you can like take that leap and jump, you'll be able to, you figure it out. You build your safety net as you come down. You don't have to actually have the plan B fully in place. Mm-hmm. As long as it's a calculated risk that you're taking. Right?
That's right. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be calculated, of course. It can't be like, oh, I want to be a pro football player now at 40. It's never going to happen. Okay, you should have a plan B. Let's talk about
buddy.
that. You're 5'10", 175, 40 years old. I don't think people are retired now.
Right.
Okay, that's
so
not
maybe
realistic.
Maybe not
but
that one.
I think we're all we get that. Mm-hmm. We should get that. But I will say I'm 40 years old now, and I knew all this stuff when I was younger. But knowing stuff doesn't make stuff happen.
Yeah.
So in my 30s, in my 20s was a lot of knowing stuff, zero execution. My 30s was a little more execution, but still battling with the rust of my 20s, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In my 40s, I'm about 4 months in, but in my late 30s to now, execution was the only thing I was concentrated on. I wasn't concentrated about learning more. I wasn't concentrated about anything but execution. Just do it. You'll learn as you go.
True.
And that's how we've done marriage. There was so much advice that we got before we got married. So much. And all of it was terrible. And it was all about what we think. At least for me, it was like these absolute truths that I held on to about marriage and relationships and all that stuff. But it wasn't a lot of execution. And then once we started executing on working on ourselves first, and then that helping us work on each other, everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't even knowing I wasn't thinking about what's going on. I was just thinking about executing, getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you should apologize to your wife. You should kill your ego. Dude, all you're doing is not apologizing and leading with your ego.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you can know that stuff, but
You have
you're not doing it.
practicing it.
Yeah.
Too.
And that's why this is there is so much information now. There are so many self-help books, and I love self-help books, and I've read a lot. But when I was reading the most self-help books, I was doing the least. When I was reading the least self-help books, I was doing the most. Now I've already read a lot of self-help books, so I'm now executing what I've learned 10 years ago. But Gary Vaynerchuk, I remember, like, this is 15 years ago. I was listening, maybe not that, yeah, about that long. I was listening to his podcast. This is early on. And I was consuming his podcasts, his books. I was reading other guys' podcasts, this self-help book, how to build this business, this. But I wasn't doing anything. Like, I was still just doing my day-to-day stuff, learning about real estate.
Yeah.
I knew so much about it all.
But you never made a move.
Never made a move. And then Gary Vaynerchuk said, if you guys are still listening to me in 10 years, or it's 5 to 10 years, and you guys are still listening to me and buying every single book that I put out, but you haven't done anything, you haven't built that dream business, you haven't followed your dreams, then I've failed you. I don't want you to listen to me forever. Yeah. I don't want you to continue to buy my books. I want you to get the information, go out and do it, and say thank you, and stop consuming my stuff. I'm putting all this information out in hopes that this person receives it and goes and does it.
Yeah.
And then a new person receives it, does it. Goodbye.
Yeah, like,
goodbye.
take action.
Stop coming back, because there's people that go to these Tony Robbins seminars every single year.
Yeah.
And they never make that step. So the information is great, but you gotta go do something. You have to go do it. And it took me 2 decades almost to finally, like, stop learning. Just do it, man.
Yeah, you needed a little push for certain things.
Well, it's just I needed to go, okay.
Do
go
something.
do it.
Go do
I
know.
it.
And
Like-
I think that's
Like, stop. Just, you get it. And that's why I was saying to you recently, some of these concepts in these self-help books, I'm like, doesn't that seem so simple? Like, but it's like people are, like, blown away by this knowledge. And I'm like, isn't that just, like, basic wisdom, or, like, basic, it should be, like, common sense. But I think that's what we need to be reminded of, is it's not that hard, like, to figure out.
And I said, like, it's these theories that come to you in these, like, bite-sized things, like Let Them with the Mel Robbins. That's just those 2 words you can really apply so quickly to your life, and that's why that book has done really well. And it gives you, like, tons of examples in the book of different situations and how you can just let them, because it preserves your peace when you don't care so much about what this other person is doing because you can't control it. And that's, like, a huge life lesson on having peace in your life, and it's like, but it's just this bite-sized thing that's so easy to apply. And I think that's why it's like,
it's easily
simple.
digest. It's very simple, but you have to apply it.
Yeah.
You can't read Let Them and then consider or continue to have people walk all over you, or to have other people's negativity affect you, or other people's situations, or have insecurities about somebody saying something about you. You gotta apply it.
Like watching someone else's situation and feeling like you just want to fix it so bad or change it. But also when it's someone's a choice, it's like, you gotta just let them.
Yeah.
Let them be like that.
The book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Whoop. You can't read it and go, oh, yeah, I'm going to stop caring what people think, and then continue to care what people think. It's like, this stuff. Or for me, like, Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday and Stillness is Key. Those were 2 books that I'm like, okay, if I just apply this, my life gets better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just these 2 concepts of like letting it all go and just stop trying to control everything.
Yeah.
But if I continue, so easy concepts, and I think my point is I was thinking that I couldn't make that first step in execution until I learned everything about it. The most that I've ever learned in my life is just executing it. The most I've learned about marriage is not any marriage book or any marriage podcast, which I've consumed a lot. It's doing the work on myself, humbling myself enough, and taking that ego is the enemy and stuff concepts and let them and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And just focusing on my marriage and being the best partner I can be and doing it every single day. And you get a lot better. And it happens quickly.
And same with parenting.
Same with parenting.
You really, it's experience. It's trial and error. Every child's different. Every situation is different. And we thankfully have each other to experience it all together. And, that's just, you're not going to always be ready for everything, quote unquote ready. But,
and that's why I've just, the keep showing up tagline that just happened where I'm just like, I'm going to live this way, 4 years ago. I'm just going to show up imperfectly and then just keep showing up. And then I'm going to have some good days, and then I'm going to start stacking those wins, and then the more wins I stack, like reading a book. Everybody wants to read a book fast, right? How fast does it take you to read a book? I don't know, 3 days to 3 weeks, But if you read a book just once a month and you weren't reading any, you've just read 12 books in a year. They start stacking up. Even though it doesn't feel like a lot, over time they start stacking up. Two books a month, 3 books a month. Now you're at like 50 a year.
Yeah.
So it's, everybody wants quick results, right? Everybody wants quick everything. And the best things in life don't happen overnight. They happen, very, very slowly.
Yeah.
And, with parenting, it's, not going to be a home run every day.
No, it's not.
And
we do. Yeah, we fail and then we regroup and we apologize and we figure it out for the next
not staying in that negativity for too long either. Like that guilt, the mom guilt, the dad guilt. If you just continue to beat yourself up every time you mess up, that's also going to weigh on you. That's going to be a negative thing. So you got to brush it off. You can't stay in it too long. You can recognize it, but then move on. It's all about, obviously apologizing, getting up and doing it again. Just like with us, we argue, but our arguments do not last very long.
Yeah, they don't
anymore.
really escalate.
They don't escalate and they don't last very long. They're handled very quickly, and
they are. Where it used to not be like that.
It used to last a long time.
We used to fight. We used to have knockdown, drag out fights. I mean, nobody was knocked down, but it was dragged
that
out.
Sounds bad.
That's just a saying.
Yeah, I know.
But it was, we were also immature and learning. We were really learning how to.
We were trying to get at each other. We were like, it was like a rap battle. We were like bar for bar. And she comes with the bars. She comes with the bars. I told her that. I said, you would be a great. You'd be great in a rap battle. If you could figure out how to rhyme all this stuff, you would smoke people.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Because you've come up with stuff towards me, and I'm just like, I don't even have a comeback for that. Like, I know what I am. What are you? What
Yeah.
I know you are, but what am I?
I know.
Like, I'm just tongue-tied.
Early on, I would like pride myself on that because I could always one up him. Like, it could always go And
You're
then
like,
I'd feel like
bro, I'm about
I
to
won.
cry.
That's so
You've
horrible.
hurt my feelings.
I know
That
that
was brutal.
I have been brutal, and I yeah, it was toxic
It was toxic.
at one point in time.
Spicy, this one. Small but mighty.
It's true.
Don't mistake her kindness for weakness. That's for sure.
It's true. But I mean, I
Oh,
also am
man.
like, come from some spicy people,
You come from bar givers.
bar givers. They be spitting some better bars than me.
Bar goers and givers.
Well, I have had to reel it in because I really don't want to hurt him anymore. Where before I think I did want to hurt you. I thought that was the only way to be in a relationship. I thought you just had to like win and knock you down, so you kind of figured out that I was right.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to be right all the time. And I now just really have tried to do better at seeing your side, and I know my side, but trying to see both sides helps me have a clearer view of what we're actually even fighting about or arguing about or whatever it is, or disagreement. Usually they're not like these fundamental humongous things anymore. Like we used to have when you're first starting to figure each other out. There were things that would come up after like 3 years, and we would have to figure those things out. There would be a power struggle. There would be like maybe an idea of male and female roles in our marriage, and how some of those things didn't work for us the same as some other families, right? I mean, we argued about that kind of stuff
and they might
a
just
lot.
not have worked.
It might not have worked. And honestly, it's
Just
like
bad advice.
yeah, it was just like we were saying, bad advice from other people and things that just don't, it's just not how we function. And we figured that out along the way. We also started to deal with our crap. And I think that's most important. Everything comes to the surface when you marry somebody. All your past comes to the surface. All those past insecurities, all the past trauma, all the baggage, right? And if you don't deal with it, it's going to affect that other person. So when we started to deal with it and also understand it, so we were, some people go to therapy. We used each other as therapists, which I know is like really against the rules. But we did. And it worked for us.
It worked for us, and we just became so close to each other. Best friends. Like, everything became so much better when we killed the ego. Both of us. It wasn't just my ego, it was hers too. And we killed that, and then we started to understand each other, ask each other's questions, or say, oh, geez, okay, that makes sense why you do that.
Right.
And I'm not going to hold that against you, and I'm not going to use it in a rap battle.
I think we had to learn.
I'm not going to use that against you. And that's a big fear. And a lot of men in my DMs and messages say, I'm never opening up to my partner because she'll use it against me. And it's been used against me. So that's coming from another unhealed person.
Yes.
That's coming from the other side. The woman in that situation is unhealed, and she is using it against you because she's got something she's dealing with.
And that's her defense mechanism, and she hasn't learned that she's doing that. And then that makes the man feel like he's unsure about opening up ever.
Yep.
That would make total sense. That's huge. It's like, that's what I was going to say. We need to learn like the right language to say to each other to explain where it's coming from, so that person can understand what is actually going on inside of me and why I responded like that, or why I said that, or why I feel the way I do about the way, whatever the heck you just did that pissed me off.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And you using stuff against me, my vulnerabilities against me.
Yeah.
You said that was to hurt me.
Yeah, it
on
would be to
purpose.
hurt you.
Yeah,
For you to feel hurt because I'm feeling hurt.
right.
And that's what it all comes down to.
Mhm.
You're basically just trying to boom, boom, boom. You're just like hitting each other back and forth
Yeah.
with words.
So both people need to work on themselves and
Yeah.
talk through it. And kids just bring it up to the surface even more.
They sure
And
do.
if you're running away from it like I was, and you're drinking, and a lot of people, also parents, will just put all their love and attention into the child.
Yeah.
And then the spouse gets left in the dust,
Yeah.
and then you both start doing that, and then you're just roommates.
Yeah.
Enter the roommate phase,
phase.
where it's like everything is about the child, and you love the child more than you like your spouse, and you're just gonna
Yeah.
pour all that love into the child, and you don't even want the spouse around anymore, and that's a dangerous place. And you get into this roommate phase, and you get more distant and more distant.
We know
and more
because we
distant,
did this.
and then more resentful,
Mhm.
and then everything's an attack against you, and then it's just a real horrible place to be. And that's when you guys gotta step back. And I know it's chaotic, the sleep, the postpartum, the weird feelings. Like, let's be honest, when you have your first child, it's a weird feeling.
Yeah, it's a weird new
Amazing,
reality.
but there's so much fear and unknown, and depending on how much help you have, if you have none, the time of year you have the baby, there's so much that goes into it, and there's so much pressure. And are we going to be able to afford this? And
Yeah.
so much unknown, and you don't feel good about yourself, and there's just a lot that goes into it. Don't let anybody underestimate how difficult it is just to have a child,
Right.
right? And it's important to figure that out
Yeah.
with your teammate.
Mhm.
And it's not an attack on you, and stop attacking each other. But it can't just come from one person.
It has to come from both sides. That's
'Cause
what I was going to say.
Yeah, if it comes
too.
from one person, that's also a terrible place to be.
Both people have to be willing to keep working at it too, because like we definitely got to that roommate phase, and it was the scariest point of our marriage, I'd say, because it felt really like we were totally disconnected. I don't think we liked each other at that point.
I didn't think we would make it.
There was a moment, probably more than I even like to admit, where it was a little scary, because I mean, and I always loved you and was your biggest fan. And
Yeah.
I always talked about you, like my clients and everything, like he's amazing. But at home, because it was pretty much after Dakota, I would say that's really when we had, and it was just, we were just falling into this new life of, kind of, we would fight with each other so much because we were resenting the other person so much. We were like, I'm doing more. No, I'm doing more, but I'm doing this and you're not doing that. And it was just constant. Plus, money was tight. So there's also that element where you start to feel just overwhelmed with the world and life. So
Yeah.
I would say if you're in that place, go to therapy. We didn't, because we were able to both just like really listen, we've got to talk. We've got to figure this out. Let's just talk it out till we're blue in the face. And that's what we did for a long time.
We fought for each other. Like, I remember, I don't know if Jessica remembers this, but I remember she was in the bathroom and she said, we need to figure this out or we're going to get a divorce. And it was like the first time she used the D word, right?
Yeah.
And I brushed her off. Come on. Are you serious? But later that day, I was like, dang, we're not in a good place. Like, this is not what I want. Our daughter was only 6 months old, maybe a little older. I don't remember. But I was freaking out after we had our firstborn internally, and I didn't express it to him. I was freaking out. I thought we were there's just so much on my mind. I felt like I needed to make more money. I feel like I wasn't doing what I really love to do. There was just so much, and and
Yeah.
there was such a disconnect. I felt so lonely. Like I
Mhm.
felt so alone. The men in my life do not express themselves. If I expressed myself, they would just man up.
Yeah.
Just man up. Which is fine. That's how they were raised. But it was I wasn't saying, "Oh, I don't know what to do. Poor me." I wasn't saying poor me. It was coming from a place where I'm like, "How do I make this better?" And no one could tell me. No one could tell me how I could be there for my wife more. And I think it was some clients that I had at the time that there was one in particular that I really respected as a man, and he really I didn't really open up my business of where I was at, but there's a lot of wisdom in there, and that's when I saw, oh, like I need to die to myself,
Mm. Yeah.
and so I can show up for her. It's and once I started to do that for real, it wasn't overnight. That's when we started. Her defense her defense mechanism went away,
Yeah.
and it was like this breath of fresh air.
That's true. Yeah. I never really knew it was like that influence though.
Yeah.
That Steve? Yeah.
Mhm.
Young.
Mhm.
Steve Young. Shout out Steve Young.
Shout out my client Steve Young.
We still talk about him all the time. He is like a man of wisdom.
Yeah,
We
he's
loved having conversations with him.
yeah, and I just it just his wife and him, they were I really admired their relationship and
That's
how
right.
they work together and were so honest with each other, and there was just no overbearing ego from him, and it was always, and when she was having a rough time, he seemed to pick up the slack. It's like that 80-20, 40-60.
It was a really good example of
It was
a
a really,
marriage.
really good example of a marriage, and just a really good example of like wisdom from a man. And they just, I mean, they worked so hard on everything, their kids, everything. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm fortunate that that's the one thing I loved about my old job, being a personal trainer,
Yeah.
is the connections I've made, the like lifelong connections I've made. And I know I've lost touch with a lot of people, but I really want to start to reach out again,
Yeah.
and
And
get
they
coffee
just
with these people and like keep that connection, because they were such a great uh they're such a great part of my life,
and
that's what I loved, is that relationship building.
I always thought that, and this is like to brag on you because of the kind of person you are, but like most personal trainers don't keep their clients for like 10 years straight. People typically don't personal train for that long, but they love him. They loved you so much. Like everyone just never wanted to quit with you.
I just
because
became an expensive friend.
you were just like an expensive friend. Seriously, but I'm like, that's just, it's just an example of like, I just think it's cool because it's like your heart and everything.
Yeah, I'm grateful for all those connections I've made, and for how long it kept those people, but they were supportive of me during
Yeah.
COVID and 2020, which was
Yeah.
obviously a real financial strain for us being self-employed, her being out of work for
2
months,
months. Yeah.
and you know,
And they were just so encouraging. They
they
spoke a lot into your life.
yeah, they did online training with me. We trained outside and kept 6 feet away.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy times. But I remember that year, for some reason, it got warm here pretty quick,
Yeah, it did.
which was unusual. And there was a ton of sunny days in April and May.
Yeah.
And so I was able to train people outside, and they supported me. And I'm forever grateful for those people, and the conversations we had, the support they gave me, and just really helped me build, follow my dreams.
Yeah,
And
because that was a pivotal time. What?
well, my client Steve Young, he I told him I wanted to write a book one day. And he said, you can. And it was going to be a fitness book at the time or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
I'm about to announce the book for pre-order. So I'll just announce it here. You can pre-order now. It's tireddad.com. Pre-order the book now. I'm working with my publisher on special things, hats, to give away with the book, signed copies, which is super weird for me. Does anybody want a signed copy from me? Really?
I do.
I just, I'm going to be putting keep showing up on there.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
should be just my signature. You guys don't want my name.
Yeah.
Just keep showing up.
No, keep showing up, and then your little shoo, 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 boom.
But
You won't be able to tell it says John.
working on events, so
Yes.
I don't know
Working
where
on
that's
events,
going to be.
podcasts.
But if you're in Tennessee, there will definitely be one at our local Barnes and Noble, which is crazy because that's my favorite Barnes and Noble, and I've been going there forever.
Yeah.
I think I went there in 06 when I would visit here. It's just crazy. It's mind blowing. I wrote the book for people like myself 10 years ago when I had my firstborn. I wanted a book like this, and there wasn't one. So that's who I wrote it for. I'm hoping to help people, and I think it's a real positive thing that I'm putting out into the world, and it's for you guys, and it needed to be written, and I needed to write it, and
it's so good.
She was right here when I was writing it late at night after the kids were in bed. I wrote it when Asher was sick on my lap. I wrote it when, my daughter was bringing me to tears after telling me a story after I put her to bed. It's real time, real thoughts, real reflective
going through a lot
stuff.
family wise. He wrote, and he's writing every day for months and months. So yeah, his heart was poured into this, and I think it's amazing. I pick it up and mean to only read one, and I just keep going because I want to keep on. They're just these perfect little digestible, 100 different reflections. So it's easy to read one, or you can sit there and read 5, or you could do one a day, or whatever it is. But it is a really great book. It's very encouraging. I think any dad would be happy to read that book.
Yeah. I think it's, at the very least, it will encourage you at some point in your fatherhood journey. And it's just reassurance that you're not alone and to keep showing up. And what's crazy is, I don't even know if I've mentioned this, but last Father's Day, Josh Brolin, the actor, messaged me and shared one of my videos about what is Tired Dad, and I was blown away. He's one of my favorite actors growing up. I'm a huge movie buff. No Country for Old Men was a book that me and my dad read together, and we watched the movie together, and it was a real pivotal time in my life when I was 21, and it was just this surreal moment. He messaged me. Now I text him, and we talk, and he gives me advice now, and it's crazy. His quotes on the front of the book, he wrote a very long blurb that I couldn't put on the front of the book, but I have 2 pieces in the front and on the inside, and it just means the world to me, and it's just a crazy moment.
It's just a really full circle moment for him, and I'm so proud of him because this made him so happy. So for me to get to witness this as his wife, I just feel so proud and happy for you, and I just know how much it lights you up. All of this, it's just fun. It's so great. And it's your whole heart, and all of this is your heart being poured out. So to have somebody validate it like Josh Brolin, it's just means a lot. And this is all so exciting and new.
It's crazy.
What's going to happen in the next, let's see, February, March, April, May. So in 4 months, it pretty much launches. A little less than 4 months.
Yeah.
So
hopefully some of the podcast appearances happen that I want to happen and all that. And man, I've always wanted this message to not just be about my life, but to just encourage fathers and to be, like I say in the book, that arm around your shoulder, that a lot of us don't have and never had. Hopefully, you can learn from my mistakes, you can learn from my insights, but I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing the journey that we're all on. And also, what I want you to take is that, I'm 40 years old. I wrote my first book. I changed careers. I'm doing I'm following my dreams.
I was gonna say, you're following your
I'm
dreams
following my
now.
dreams, and I want to motivate you to do the same, whatever that is. And if you're a writer, write, and just you do it because you love it and you need to. I always, and somebody said, I was listening to or reading something, but when you're a writer, you have such advantage. Anything that you go through in life, you can write about, and it's like a release. Not everybody has that. I think, how do people get through life without like expressing themselves through writing or some sort of art? Some people paint or whatever. I'm a terrible painter, but I think we all need that release, and I'm just fortunate that I released it onto some pages that were picked up and published, and it's going to be out in the world, which is a scary, weird feeling. But, I'm fortunate. I'll be forever grateful for this moment. And my kids are on the front of the cover. The picture means everything to me. My friend took it. One of my best friends, great friends, fellow metalhead, designed the cover for me. Just so much means so much to me. I got to dedicate it to my wife and my dad, and my kids will have printed paper published book of my thoughts when I was raising them at such a young age. And
what an incredible gift that is for them that they don't even know yet. But
like, it's so much. Like, I made it. Look, Ma, I made it. Look, Dad, I made it. Like, just this moment. So I hope that motivates you, and I hope that gives you it gives you motivation to go out there and do stuff. Because my big thing is, I want my kids in 20 years, whatever I told them, if I told them I love them, I want them to have felt that. If I told them to follow their dreams, I hope they saw me follow mine at some point. If I tell them to be a good person and to treat people with kindness, I hope that I showed them how to do that. If I told them how much I love their mom, and that tell my son to be a good husband, tell my daughter to be a good partner, I hope they saw that. I hope they felt that.
Yeah.
That family's important. I hope they felt that. I hope they felt everything I said and saw everything I said.
That you were a man of your word.
That they say that I'm a man of my word. And that's what this is about. It's not about what you say. It's about what you do. And you keep showing up.
Yes.